Now, amid rising tensions between India and Canada, trouble mounting for Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Trudeau's popularity in Canada is on a decline. As per opinion polls conducted by IPSOS, polling for Canada's Global News, the opposition leader instead, Pierre Poilievre, has emerged as the best candidate for Prime Minister. Around 40% of Canadians have chosen him as their favourite leader. And on the other hand, Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party has only secured about 30% in the opinion polls conducted Thursday. Meanwhile, India Today has accessed that report on terrorist threat to Canada of 2018, which mentioned Sikh extremism as one of their major concerns. The report has highlighted the names of Babar Khalsa International and International Sikh Youth Federation as organizations associated with terrorism there. Moreover, what's even more shocking here is that in 2019, Justin Trudeau government got that paragraph removed from that revised version of the document. Gaurav Sawant joins me right here in the studio to give us a perspective on the popularity that's now gone downhill for Justin Trudeau. Gaurav, it was expected. I did mention it's not just about Indians in India frowning on this kind of Khalistani separatism gaining ground in Canada, but Canadians too seem quite upset and frustrated maybe with this kind of extremism right on their own soil. What's the Justin Trudeau government doing?
So for quite some time, Justin Trudeau's popularity has been on the decline, and more to do with inflation, with housing, with the kind of statements that he's been making, and all of that not being true on ground. His support to Khalistani terror is perhaps the last straw that breaks the camel's back, if we were to see it in that way. Justin Trudeau's popularity by some polls down by 14% compared to Pierre Poilievre. And each report, each poll seems to indicate that recovery for him is extremely difficult. And some analysts argue it's because of that, because he's in the dock on inflation, because he's in the dock on price rise and housing costs. That's the reason that he suddenly came out with this bogey of targeting India on the issue of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in a way to shift the focus completely away from inflation and housing and the problems that he faces within. But even here, he's on a rather sticky wicket, because increasingly in an interconnected world, the questions that are being asked even in Canada is why does the government in Canada support Khalistani elements? Why is action not being taken against elements like Nijjar, against whom there is an Interpol notice? And not just Nijjar, Nabila, somebody like a Gurpatwant Singh Pannu issues a blatant hate call telling Hindus to leave Canada, and the government does nothing against him.
Absolutely, and that seems to have really affected his popularity. As per those reports, the opposition leader Pierre has overtaken him by a good number of points to be really the face of Prime Minister for Canada. So this has really hit him hard. Justin Trudeau, the allegations that he's made against India has certainly shaken the nation there, Canada. India-Canada diplomatic standoff now only escalating with Trudeau's comments, and it raises a pitch against Trudeau. India now has responded in measure, suspending visas for Canadians. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, on his part, responded to India cancelling visa services, saying, and almost doubling down on the allegations, saying that the allegations of the Indian government agents linked with the Khalistani leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing must be taken seriously. This was Justin Trudeau's response. Trudeau said that there is credible reason to believe that agencies of the Indian government have indeed been involved in the killing of Nijjar. He's further added that these allegations have been levelled against India with utmost seriousness, and that Canada expects India to cooperate. Meanwhile, sources suggest that Khalistanis in Canada will be holding a protest on Monday, and ISI is working to make this a success. Remember, just yesterday, the Ministry of External Affairs accused Canada of becoming a safe haven for terrorists and extremists. The breakdown in India-Canada ties is now fully out and clear.
There are credible reasons to believe that agents of the government of India were involved in the killing of a Canadian on Canadian soil. That is something of the utmost and foundational importance in a country of rule of law, in a world where international rules-based order matters. We call upon the government of India to take seriously this matter and to work with us to shed full transparency and ensure accountability and justice in this matter. We are a country of the rule of law. We are going to continue to do the work necessary to keep Canadians safe and to uphold our values and the international rules-based order. That's our focus right now. And we're not looking to provoke or cause problems. But we are unequivocal around the importance of the rule of law and unequivocal about the importance of protecting Canadians and standing up for our values.
Now, amidst the ongoing tensions between Canada and India, United States has made it quite clear that they are in touch with Indians at the highest level. Further added that diplomatic standoff between the two nations is a matter of deep concern and will be taken seriously.
I'm not going to get into private diplomatic conversations that have either already happened or are going to happen on this topic, only to say that we have been and will be in contact with the Indians at high levels on this issue. It is a matter of concern for us. It is something we take seriously. It is something we will keep working on. And we will do that regardless of the country.
All right. Gaurav Sawant for more on that. Gaurav, we hear that the highest official in Canada saying that they are in talks with Indian government and at the deepest level. But do we know of any substantial talks that may have taken place to improve relations between the two countries? Because the last I saw, India suspended visa services in Canada.
India was compelled to suspend visa services because Canada was unable or unwilling to ensure safety of Indian diplomats in Canada. And when the safety of diplomats cannot be ensured, how can visas be issued if they're unable to carry out their tasks? If photographs of Indian diplomats are being put out in public domain, their phone numbers are being put out in public domain, a target is being painted on their back, and the Canadian government refuses to take action. So that puts the situation in a place where Government of India has urged the Government of Canada to take action to ensure that safety of Indian diplomats is ensured as per Vienna Convention. Similarly, Government of India is also asking Government of Canada to ensure that there is parity in terms of diplomatic staff, both in terms of numbers and seniority, the Indian High Commission in Canada and the Canadian High Commission in India, which would translate into the Canadian High Commission in India will systematically and significantly have to be scaled down in the times ahead. So if Canada has fired the first gun, the ball is now in Canada's court to provide evidence of the charges that they've leveled. So far, all that Justin Trudeau has said is credible allegation and credible reason to believe. None of it constitutes any evidence of alleged involvement of Indian agents in the killing of a Khalistani terrorist in Canada.
Absolutely, Gaurav. Thank you very much for joining us on that.